Today we're putting the Smith Wesson CSX-E series up against one of the kings of micro compacts, the SIG P365. And most people immediately assume the P365 has already won, but I don't think it's that simple. What matters isn't the internet popularity. It's how these guns fit in your hand, your training, your carry setup, and whether they give you confidence when it actually matters. Today we're going to find out. One category surprised me far more than I expected when comparing these two pistols, and we're going to get there. Welcome back to Glockaholic76. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and if you enjoy this video at the end, hit that like button. It really helps us get this channel seen by more people just like you. When Smith & Wesson announced the CSX-E series, I wasn't looking for another micro compact. The P365 already existed and filled that role in my lineup for me. The Hellcat already existed, and the Glock 43X already had its place in my lineup. But the CSX technically already existed. And the first go around, it didn't matter if this was a good pistol back at that time or not. The internet killed it, quite possibly just because it was different. So why another one? It's a mini 1911-ish single action. This is a 3.1-inch micro compact pistol that's optic ready. Market competition benefits everyone, and so does innovation. Smith & Wesson has quietly been listening to customer feedback for years. I wanted to know, did they finally build something that could seriously compete to be my everyday carry pistol? Or was this just another pistol entering an already crowded market that would fall flat on its face? My first impressions, ergonomics immediately stood out. The grip felt different. It feels good. The controls feel well placed. They're easy to use. The slide is surprisingly easy to rack. Very simple. But compared to something like this, there's a lot more strength required compared to the P365. I don't know. I'm going to say, oh yeah, it's night and day between the two. This is, although this isn't difficult to rack at all, the CSX is definitely a lot simpler. My first impressions, though, obviously we know it's not as simple as that. One thing happened out on the range that completely changed my opinion when comparing these two pistols side by side. Here's something most people don't realize. The original SIG P365 didn't just become popular. It completely changed the handgun industry. Before 2018, a time when people accepted lower capacity, tiny guns compared to M&P Shield. These two pistols are very similar in length. Without magazines, you can see the difference in the grip. In its standard capacity, this is a 10-round magazine. It still held more than your Shield, and without a magazine, it was smaller. The P365 forced nearly every major manufacturer to redesign their concealed carry lineup. Without the P365, the Hellcat, the Taurus GX4, Reflex, the Shield Plus, this new CSX-E might all look very different today. And that's how influential this one handgun has become. Smith & Wesson wants a piece of that market share. All of the other manufacturers do. So let's hit the basics. The Smith & Wesson CSX-E series is a 9mm. What's great about this, depending on your magazine configuration, there are back straps that make this longer and whatnot, but you comparing them side by side, you have a 12-round magazine here, and then this is your 10-round magazine, which is flush fit here. So comparing them side by side, putting the smallest magazines that I have for them, this is your 10-round, this is going to be your 12-round magazine. As far as the SIG goes, let's switch these around here. We won't use the 10-round for now. We're going to use 12. So there's your 12 round. So this is your 12 and 12 configuration for both. You can see these pistols are very underneath the trigger guard. Line up the slides. They're very, very similar in height. Trying to make these as even as possible. You have the beaver tail, so it does make, but if you were going to line up slide by slide, even though, look at that, they are very, very similar. And the CSX, the slide itself is shorter, but if you move that up there, it's probably more, and then you have a different grip panels you can change on the back of the CSX. Remember, there's a 10 round option, but we're going to try to keep this as even across the board as possible. We have the 12 round magazine in this, but if you take the 15 round option in the Smith & Wesson, you're going to get 15 round capacity. Now, the only thing I can come close to a 15 round capacity would be switching to something like, this is a 12 round magazine, but I have a +2 mag guts insert. So this gives you 14. I don't have an insert here, but just to give you round capacity. So you got 14 in this one. You got 15 in this one. And, well, I guess I don't know, is that extra round worth it if you line this up? Yeah, a little bit, maybe the angle. Again, from concealed carry perspective, if I was concealing this, the trigger guards, a little bit maybe, I don't know. Still, maybe the concealment factor might still be better with the P365. But then you can even switch that around and throw your 17 round magazine, which gives you a crazy long grip on there. And then I guess you would have to compare that with your 17 round SIG magazine. And there are inserts you can get. I just don't have one on here. See, they both are about the same height. It's crazy to think that there's 17 rounds in each one of these pistols right here. They're both really great little shooters. If you were going to break down these pistols again, you got 10, 12, 17, then you're going to have 12, 15, 17 on that side. Breaking down these two pistols, they are very, very similar. Now, you do have the optic plate on this one. Now, something to note about the 12 round magazine, interesting enough, I've seen you can fit 13 rounds in this magazine. However, if you try to insert it into this pistol, it's going to be very hard to drive home with the slide closed. You can take your 13, drive it with the slide open, and then chamber around. It's a little bit tough. Maybe that'll change over time. I'm only going to load these till 12 because I'm going to stick with what the manufacturer says to do. CSX-E, it is optic ready. That was a big con that they complained about on the first version of this CSX. This is a blackout Defender CCW from Vortex, not sponsored. I have that mounted on the top. Nice little pistol, does the job, doesn't necessarily hurt my concealment. Aluminum frame kind of brings back that metal frame heritage. I love that. I think that definitely changes the way this shoots. Not necessarily better or worse, but metal absorbs the recoil differently, so it is a different feel than the P365, but it's a very compact footprint. So if you look at the P365, I mean, it's a 9mm. It has those same multiple magazine options. You have your 10, you have your 12. There is a 15 round magazine out there, but I'm pretty sure the base plate on that is very, very similar to the 17, so you might as well just go to the 17, but and so on. There are larger magazines. The P365 does have optic ready versions. There's the P365X version of this. I don't have a optic on this pistol because this was a deep concealment pistol for me, and I really wanted to keep it as small as possible with as much punch and ammo as I could in this setup. The polymer frames, if you don't know, in the P365 can be swapped out to different colors, different sizes. You can make this an XL, you can make this a macro if you really wanted to. That versatility and that modularity is what has in part made the P365 so popular. Neither of these pistols, when looking at the specs on paper, tell the story as to how they shoot. And I think that's where things get really, really interesting. The grip. The grip on the CSX fills my hand better. Now, I would carry this typically with your 12 round magazine. But the grip for me feels substantial, and maybe it's because of the cold aluminum frame. The P365 in its standard configuration, I put the whole grip on this to make it a little thicker, and I do like the feel of this with the finger groove, but in the original configuration, the P365 grip just is a little too thin for me, so I added the grip. The Smith & Wesson noticeably made improvements over the original, a typical carry trigger. Not a 3.5-pound trigger or a 2011 trigger, but it has a nice solid trigger. All these pistols are clear. There's no ammo anywhere. A nice solid wall, a short take up. The crisp break, although this has broken in a bit, I've only been able to put a few 100 rounds through this. It's definitely a little smoother than it was. It just straight back. There's just nothing there. I mean, and look at that. I mean, that is just the great as far as, and it just breaks. It breaks smooth. It's just a straight back trigger pull. Smith & Wesson has made noticeable improvements over the original CSX. The trigger feels clean, the reset is positive, and there's almost no after travel. Now the SIG P365, I enjoy the flat face trigger. This pistol is clear, a lot more take up. It's a different trigger system completely, and after travel on your SIG at all, and it just stops there at 90 degrees. So look at that. Yeah, both great triggers in their own right. I enjoy both of them, and they both do the job just fine. SIG has years of proven success, and they've hit bumps in the road, and they've configured and reconfigured and redesigned, built on those issues as well as their successes, just have continued to make quality firearms. Smith & Wesson has decades of firearm manufacturing experience, and neither company lacks that credibility. The only thing I noticed, safety plunger, which is in here, and you can check that out. Maybe I'll throw in some video footage of what it looks like. It may never be an issue, but someone needs to make a polished metal one, and I would buy it just because it's something that kind of bothered me. And I'm really not sure why or if it'll even ever make a difference, but supposedly that has something to do with making this trigger audible and reset properly compared to the original CSX, which also had a polymer trigger plunger. But it's just one of those pieces that I've always seen to be metal, and that's something they need to correct, fix, or offer a substitution in the aftermarket. SIG has had its news stories, and some of the community will never buy a SIG because of their past, and that's something they're surely entitled to, and they're entitled to their opinion. Personally, I got rid of my P320s because I didn't want a pistol that was in the news for all the wrong reasons. There were too many other options out there. The P365, however, is a different pistol, which for me has been absolutely great, and I trust it. I will mention that I will only carry a SIG that has a safety, and for me, that's my preference. When I first started carrying them, there was a lot of those issues going on, and I made sure I got one with a safety, and that's just how I've continued to train with all of my SIG. Do I need it now? Probably not. It's that manual of arms I'm used to, and that's what I'm sticking with. The CSX, it shoots flatter than I expected, and it absorbs recoil like a champ. Not dramatically, but enough to notice. The grip geometry plays a big role in that. Both perform well during my testing. No amount of features matter if the gun doesn't run, and they both run flawless. This is where opinions start to split. Some shooters naturally will perform better with your P365. They like the flat face trigger, the different trigger pull, the way it sits in the hand. Someone gets a CSX-E series in their hand, like myself, they immediately say, wow, this grip feels good. Get it to the range, it shoots well, it's comfortable. The manual of arms works. I don't think neither camp would be wrong. I think the lesson is never buy a carry gun because someone else shoots it well. Buy one that you shoot well. There's one category that could decide the winner before you even get either one of these pistols to the range. Comfort. Not while shooting, but while carrying. And that's where the P365, I feel, has earned a big part of its reputation. It's incredibly easy to conceal. It's light, it's compact, and it pretty much disappears when you're carrying this pistol. The CSX offers a slightly different feel for me. Some shooters will gladly accept a little extra size and footprint like myself if it improves that confidence it gives you during live fire. And that's the trade-off, and that's a trade-off I'm willing to accept. I would trust the CSX-E series to carry every single day. I've tried it, not one malfunction. It does its job. It's a great little shooter. I also trust the P365, which is still a big part of my rotation. Which one wins? Well, I think which one fits your priorities is probably a better question. So if you want to choose the P365, or what you're looking for is maximum concealment and it matters most, and you want a very, very large aftermarket, you value its proven history. I think that would probably put you in a SIG P365 market when comparing these two pistols. I think you would choose the CSX-E if you prefer that fuller grip. I mean, this goes up to 17 rounds, improved ergonomics, and at the end of the day, the gun that gives you that confidence is always the right answer. I did tell you at the beginning I would choose one, and right now I'd have no hesitation carrying either one of these. But if I consistently shot one noticeably better, then that one is going on my belt every time, because confidence beats those internet opinions every single day. And I can't say I shoot one of these better on one day than the other. Some days I shoot the CSX. I've been to the range a few times with this one. I've been to the range lots of times with this one. Taking all that into consideration, they're very, very, very similar for me. When it comes to concealment, I'm going to pick the P365 for shooting comfort and getting back on target. Just even ever so slightly faster, the CSX-E wins. If you found this video helpful and you want to see more Glockaholic 76, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you like this video, hit that like button. But if you didn't, don't. Either way, I really want to hear from you in the comments. If you had to carry one of these tomorrow, which one would you choose? The new Smith Wesson CSX-E or the proven P365? Drop that in the comments. And as always, I appreciate everyone watching our videos. Train smart, shoot often, stay ready. Glockaholic 76. Talk to you soon.